your opinion, why do you think there haven't been riots after what happened to him like there was after George Floyd or the LA riots?
I think the conservatives probably control ourselves a little bit better than some of the Democrats who are not as radical.
Why are conservatives praying and singing today instead of rioting?
I don't know what conservatives are doing today. I know what you're doing. It seems like you're a conservative. It seems like you're out talking to people, and that's what we should always do. And I'm glad
Thank
you're
you.
doing that.
That's what I'm doing. Charlie Kirk has millions of supporters across the country. I'm asking, why did those conservatives that support him not destroy the country and burn down cities like we saw the left do?
Sorry, you're not going to bait me with that.
Bait you? It's a very straightforward question. But there hasn't been riots. There's been like prayer vigils and singing and waving the American flag. There's been like peaceful gatherings.
Sure.
Conservatives haven't been rioting and burning down cities like liberals did.
See. Who are you with?
PolitiBrawl. We're on Substack and TikTok.
Yeah. So you're trying to create a false dichotomy about why you're thinking about things.
No, just asking, why do you think there hasn't been riots on the right?
Very, very hot. I need to get to that.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask the dog next.
Yeah, we got to go. Good luck.
All right. Thank you. Hey guys, this is Matt Miller here in Washington, D.C. with PolitiBrawl. Today I'm asking people, why do they think there hasn't been riots after what happened to Charlie Kirk the other day, like there was when George Floyd was killed, or the LA riots recently? Let's go see what they have to say. What was your reaction to what happened to Charlie Kirk the other day?
Yeah, just bad.
Just bad?
Bad.
Just
Very
disappointing.
Bad. Yeah.
Very disappointing.
Bad for our country, young life taken too soon. I liked a lot of what he said, and just sad to see someone trying to get the young people involved to lose, be gone so quick.
Trying to change our country and try to get the young people going the right direction, thinking about God and making God first. Just terrible.
Can I ask, in your opinion, why do you think we haven't seen riots across the country yet because of that, like we did for George Floyd's death and the LA riots recently?
Say it, being neutral here.
Right. How do you say it?
Some people have more respect for each other and for the country and for the laws and the rules. And it's good that they can tolerate other viewpoints and not act out in anger or frustration or immaturity.
Mm-hmm.
We're all different. Whatever decision, every person, you're going to upset half the country.
Absolutely.
And we need to get along and tolerate other viewpoints, not lash out in anger and destruction. And you should all grow in that when you were a toddler.
Just disappointed in our country and and not the country, I should say, and just
Some of its citizens.
some of its citizens, right. Some of the people that would riot, that's just not the way. That's just not the way to handle it.
Instead, we've seen a lot of prayer vigils. We've seen a lot of people
Right.
singing and getting together and
Right.
waving the American flag. So it's a similar question, but do you guys think that there's just a difference in the way that the left and the right react to these situations in this country?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Unfortunately so, you think everyone would be Americans, but we're not.
Absolutely.
Right.
What was your reaction to what happened to Charlie Kirk?
I thought it was wrong what happened to Charlie Kirk, very wrong, and that disagreements should be handled with dialogue and talk. We have a First Amendment which should be respected.
Did you consider yourself a supporter of his or a fan of his?
I'm not a fan of his views at all. I just think that everyone should have a voice and that they should not be silenced with violence or censorship.
Absolutely.
And that might be one place that we disagreed, in fact, because I think Charlie Kirk might be more likely to censor things than I would be. But I still think he should have a say.
Why do you think Charlie Kirk would be more likely to censor somebody?
Well, I don't really know if he would be or not, but I really hope that we have a climate in our schools and in our society where everyone can have a say about the different things that they believe and that we work out our differences with respect for each other.
In your opinion, why do you think we haven't seen riots across the country yet for that, like we did after George Floyd died and the LA riots recently?
And what about the riot when the Congress was attacked on January 6th? That was the riot that I'm thinking of.
That was one. I can think of a summer full of riots in 2020 that was left-wing, right? And then the LA riots for the last couple months.
There were no riots in LA in the last couple months. And I mean, we could talk
For
about
several
that.
months, yeah, there was.
We probably disagree about that. But should we be able to talk about it with respect for
Yes,
each other? Of course. And there shouldn't be violence.
So
that's
why
my
are
view
conservatives
on it.
praying and singing today instead of rioting?
I don't know what conservatives are doing today. I know what you're doing. It seems like you're a conservative. It seems like you're out talking to people, and that's what we should always do. And I'm glad
Thank
you're
you.
doing that.
That's
Thank
what I'm
you.
doing.
Thank you very much. I
All right.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Do you know who Charlie Kirk is?
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, okay. Do you know, or
Yes.
do you just see what happened to him?
Not like see. I mean, I know what happened to him. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he got killed.
Yeah.
He got assassinated. Okay, we're asking people, in your opinion, why do you think there haven't been riots all over the country like there was after George Floyd was killed, or the LA riots?
Well, it was a white dude, right? The United States has been, especially with Trump and everything, you've seen the Christian nationalists come up, right? So there's a lot of white people feeling like this is the moment to, like, fight against all the DI and all this that's been happening. So the fact that he dies is one. There's people like him, and there's the other one too that was in Seattle, trying to provoke action so that they can go, look, we're being persecuted. This is happening to us, right? So I think it's the same kind of thing. They're looking for any excuse, any violence, and they go, oh, it's this, and then immediately trying to pin it on, liberals
Yeah,
and left.
but there hasn't been riots. There's been like prayer vigils and singing and waving the American flag. There's been like peaceful gatherings.
Sure.
Conservatives haven't been rioting and burning down cities like liberals
I
did.
see. Who are you with?
PolitiBrawl. We're on Substack and TikTok.
Yeah. So you're trying to create a false dichotomy about why your things, one thing.
No, we're just asking, why do you think there hasn't been riots on the right?
Very, very hot. I need to get to the
Oh,
shade.
okay. I was going to ask the dog next.
Yeah, we got to go. Good.
All right. Thank you. What was your reaction to what happened?
I'm appalled by all gun violence. I think there's no reason for people to own guns
Okay.
unless they are a bona fide hunter, a licensed hunter.
It was a hunting rifle that was used.
It was a hunting rifle, but it wasn't being used for the right purpose.
Of course not. Of course not. In your opinion, why do you think there haven't been riots across the country for what happened to Charlie Kirk, like we saw after George Floyd was killed, or the LA riots, or any number of other riots?
I think it has to do with his affiliation with President Trump. There are a lot of us who don't like it at all.
His affiliation with Trump and what?
With President Trump, who is very unpopular with a lot of us.
That's why there haven't been riots?
I think so.
Could you explain?
I think people are not as sympathetic to someone who is sympathetic to Trump these days.
Oh, well, there's been millions of people doing like prayer vigils
You know
and
what?
peaceful
He also-
gatherings.
Trump refused to do anything about a state senator from our state. He did very little to children that were killed while they were in mass in our state. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have anything to do with that man or anyone who supports him in any way.
Well, I don't even know what Trump has to do with this. You're saying there wasn't riots across. He has millions of supporters. Charlie Kirk has millions of supporters across the country. I'm asking, why did those conservatives that support him not destroy the country and burn down cities like we saw the left do?
Sorry, you're not going to bait me with that.
Bait you? It's a very straightforward question, right?
It may be a very straightforward question. You'll have to ask one of those people. Don't ask me.
Okay. Well, we did. But thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. What was your reaction to that?
Sad that we've come to that in this society, that people aren't safe and they want to speak their mind.
What did you think?
I wasn't familiar with the gentleman until it happened. It is sad that people can't speak freely in a political manner without fear of repercussions in some way in this tragic event. Person lost his life.
In your opinion, why do you think we haven't seen any riots so far over his death, like we did after George Floyd died and the LA riots in California?
It's a conversation over a couple hours and a couple glasses of wine. Okay, there's really no way to cover that in a minute.
If you had to put it in a sentence or two, what do you think the difference is?
Hard to say. I didn't even think about that because it's not something that my mind goes to, is rioting over. A poor man lost his life. I think it has something to do with people's beliefs of what that man stood for.
I think basically, if you had to put it in a nutshell, it's the people who support one side versus the people who are hired to cause trouble on the other side. I happen to be here for January 6th. Okay, I've never seen more peaceful. It was. They said 400,000 on TV. There was more than 1 million people here. I got around all over. It was very peaceful. There was very few bad situations except for what happened to the Capitol, which I know through sources and after actually seeing the video who let these people in the Capitol building.
Yeah.
So it was designed to cause trouble.
I was here as a reporter too that day, and I know exactly what you mean. And back to Charlie Kirk, we're seeing, instead of riots, we're seeing a lot of prayer vigils, singing Amazing Grace, thousands of people getting together, holding American flags and crosses. And I mean, do you think that there's a difference in the way that the left versus the right responds to these tragic events in this country?
Most certainly. The difference is there's a lot of good Democrats out there. The wrong side of the Democrat Party has been taken over by the dissidents who want to overturn the government we have. That's my opinion. And those people create all these circumstances that are crime-ridden / stealing, breaking in. The majority of the Democrats don't feel that way. It's the ones that have taken over that side that have done that.
Do you think that there's a difference between how the right and the left react to these sorts of situations in this country? And just to add one thing to that, we're seeing prayer vigils and singing of Amazing Grace and all these, like waving the American flag ceremonies, thousands of people, millions of people across the country in response to what happened to Charlie Kirk, which is a much different reaction than what we've seen on the other side. So what are your thoughts about that?
It's kind of hard to know what people think in their secret heart. It's hard to know what people think in their secret hearts.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by that?
Everything has become so tribal. It's also tribal. People only want to suffer for their side. And it's hard if you suffer for the other side. You're being disloyal to your own. And that's a real tragedy.
Absolutely.
When the problems that we have are commonly felt by all. So
I understand.
I don't know.
Thank you so much. No, I appreciate your time.